My next goal is with regards to my parents' property. It is already paid off. It's already 30 years old. The rental per month right now is roughly about 1,500. But I'm not sure how do we decide whether to keep it or to sell it off or to refinance.
How much is the value of the property today?
This is just based on like Muda. It's roughly about 350K.
And today you're collecting a rental of about 1,500, is it?
Yes, that is whole unit.
The mathematics is actually quite straightforward for you to decide, right? And I think everyone here can also learn from case study here. What you want to keep is that property that can at least generate a 5% rental return a year. Today, you see at Muda, Iklan, 350,000, right? Let's just knock off 10% after people negotiate, blah, blah, blah. 320,000 is what you're going to get. Today, your rental is 1,500, which means you collect roughly about 18,000 a year. 18,000 a year versus a 320,000 price translates to above 5% rental a year. It's not something that I would say you sell because you can take cash by refinancing it. And the beauty about property is that whenever the property becomes fully paid, you refinance, you take, let's say 300,000, 500,000, and then you go for one more cycle of 30 years, let some tenant go and pay on behalf of you for the property. So you're basically literally getting a free 300,000. Because if you actually refinance the property at 300,000, you pay per month 1,500. So you don't have to sell it. If you need the cash, you can refinance. And for me, if it's an apartment, if it's generating above 5% rental yield, there's no harm keeping it. But in the event, for example, if it's an apartment and you only get 4% or 3%.
Because right now I'm renting here in KL at about 1,700 a month. And I just feel like I could have used that money to pay for a property that my parents buy instead. Looking at like the possibility of selling off that property and then they take on new loan for another house, for which it's not using my name, but I would pay for instead.
I wouldn't want to get my mom in debt lah at 60, 65. Okay. So you can refinance nanti that property if you want to, but you only refinance after your third, fourth property. You don't do it today. Today, you don't need cash, in all honesty. As long as you get 90% though, you don't need cash. If anything, you're going to get cash when you buy a property. So you got a lot of options. By the way, property kat mana?
Penang.
Okay. All the more reason you can keep Penang punya capital gain is actually quite okay. If the property is already fully paid, then you don't worry about the mortgage. All right.
Okay. Thank
all
you.
the best.